Hello friends, happy Thursday. It's time for our weekly card class and I have a good one for you today. We are going to be using the Arched Wishes stamp set. A while back I had you vote between two, I think it was for my card club, and there were quite a few votes for Arched Wishes, and I think I ended up using the other stamp set or bundle that we were voting on. But I promised we would use the Arched Wishes stamp set sometime in the future, and that time is now. So we have a really fun new product to pair it with today. I think you're going to love these cards. If you like bright colors like me, you will definitely like these cards. If this is your first time watching, my name is Rachel Trout. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 12 years, and every Thursday I have a new card class to share with you. And then, you know, you can watch for free, but if you would like the card kit to make the cards this week, you can place an order with me now through Tuesday. And when you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after any Stampin' Rewards, I will send you the card kit. So there's a shopping link in the description that will connect you to me as your demonstrator, and then you can earn the card kit for free. Also, we have a chance to win the cards that I'm making today. So I like to send out the cards that I make. So if you are watching, make sure you say hi and comment on the video, because I will draw a winner from the comments on Monday to win the 3 cards. So 3 different people get to win the 3 cards. So interact. Let me know what you think of the cards, and let's get started. I'm going to flip down the video, and we will take a look at the products we are using today. Hold on, it says slow connection, and it's covering my button to flip it. There we go. All right, like I said, we are going to be using the Arched Wishes stamp set today. Now this coordinates with a die set called the Everyday Arches dies. Those dies actually are bundled together with another stamp set, and I don't have that one. I just ordered the dies because I think they're that amazing. So take a look here, and these are the Everyday Arches dies. Hold on a second. I'm going to turn on my Do Not Disturb because I am part of a group message, and everyone is texting right now, and you don't want to keep hearing that sound. There we go. Okay. So the Arched Wishes, that's a tongue twister, stamp set coordinates with these dies, but they're not a bundle. This die set is bundled with another stamp set. When I'm filming the video a few weeks ahead of time, the dies are currently out of stock, but they are expected back in, I believe, the week of June 2nd. So they may not be back in stock yet when you're watching this video, but our website has a really cool new feature. If you go to this product, the Everyday Arches dies, on the Stampin' Up! Store, you can click to be notified by email when they come back in stock. So if you are interested in those and they're not back in stock yet, make sure you sign up for that, because then you will know when they come back into stock. All right, I'm going to put those aside. You'll see when we use this stamp set today, this picture right here, these images are at 80%. These stamps are huge. So just be prepared for that. If you do not have large blocks to put your stamps on, you may want to add those to your order too, because these stamps are humongous. All right, the other product that we're going to be using today is a new Memories and More card pack. I'm going to look at it to make sure I get the name right. Celebration Expressions Memories and More card pack. And the coordinating colors in here are awesome. They are Balmy Blue, Berry Burst, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Pretty in Pink, and our new Timid Tiger. Now this is a little bit different than some of our past Memories and More card packs. I think mine are mixed up a little bit, but there are no sticker sheets in here, and there are quite a few of each card. So we have these banners, stripes, we have polka dots. This one has thank you in different languages, so that's kind of cool. We've got fun zigzag stripes. This one is good if you like memory keeping for journaling. Same with this one. This is another good journaling one. So you have the banners at the bottom and then Berry Burst stripes on the back. What a crowning achievement. Quick and easy card you could make with that one. The sentiment is already there. And then we've got Timid Tiger on the back. I had taken a few of these out to see which ones I wanted to use. So let's see here. Okay, and then this stripe with Balmy Blue on the back. And I did count, I don't remember, I think there might be like 6 of each 3x4 card. Let's count this one because I don't think I used this one. Then we've got our 4x6. Maybe it's even 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, it's 6. Okay, so 6 of each card, which is awesome. This is a bunch of fun balloons. Don't you like the little animal balloons too? Berry Burst. Here we've got, this is Well Done, Smiles, Birthday, so lots of celebration words. Watercolor stripe. I love this one with the candles. And then Balmy Blue. These look like bubbles to me, but circles. So we've got lots of fun patterns for all sorts of celebrations. These are great for scrapbooking, but they're also great for quick and easy cards, and that's what we're using them for today. All right, here is our first card. Now this one I copied from one of the Artisan Design Team members, and I forgot to look at which one. Hers used a different paper and was slightly different, but the same basic layout, and I thought it would be fun to duplicate with these memories and more cards. So now when you order with me this week, your card kit will come just like this with everything sorted in the envelope. You provide your own stamps, inks, ribbon, embellishments, so you can use the ones that I'm using if you have them. You can add them to your order or you can substitute something else. Today we're using our iridescent striped trim for the ribbon, and we're using our rhinestone basic jewels for our embellishment. Really anything sparkly and pretty will work. So for our first card, we have a Balmy Blue card base, 5.5 by 8.5 folded in half. And then I've cut one of the 4x6 cards down to 4 by 5.25. So you just have to shave 3/4 of an inch off of one end. And that is going to be the backdrop for our card. Isn't this a fun color combination? I love these colors. All right, then I have cut 2 of the Everyday Arches dies out of basic white. This one is the second largest arch, and this one is the 4th largest. And this one I have embossed with our mini corrugated embossing folder. We're going to bring in our Memento black ink for stamping. And now you are going to see the sheer size of these stamps. So this is my largest black. This one wouldn't quite fit on any of the other blacks, but you do need to be careful that you don't let it rock back and forth too much because you will get a shadow. So since this one is so large, I'm going to ink it up this way. With larger stamps, it is easier, I find, to turn them upside down and ink them like this. I'm going to move the ink far out of the way so we don't make a mess here. And I'm going to be very careful to hold on to my block so it doesn't rock. So we're going to line this up on our arch. I do want to make sure that I've got it inked well, but no shadow there. All right, not super straight, but you know what? It'll work. Okay, and then I have the balloon stamp. Look how big that one is too. And I'm going to stamp that one 3 times because we're going to use our 3 different colors that are in our striped card to color the balloons. So you should have room on your white piece to stamp that balloon 3 times. Here's our second one. And our third one. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in some of my Stampin' Blends markers. So I'm going to start with Berry Burst. And I'm going to start with the dark and just color dark along this edge of the balloon. And then we're going to fill in the rest with our light Berry Burst. I don't know if I would have put these colors together. Maybe Berry Burst and Balmy Blue. But oranges are just a color I don't use that often. So I like that this brought me out of my comfort zone. Now I opened my dark Balmy Blue marker and I could tell when I took the cap off that it was not, you know, it was coming apart and it was all dried out. So I am just using my light Balmy Blue, but if I had my dark, I would be doing the same thing. So I'm just adding some extra layers of color here to mimic that dark there. And with our Stampin' Blends markers, every time you color over it, it adds another layer of color. So you can actually get multiple shades from one marker by just adding more layers. And then we're going to use our Timid Tiger Stampin' Blends. This was my first time using them because that's one of our brand new in colors. Funny story, so the Stampin' Blends markers in our new in colors is one of the first things that I wanted to order. And I got my box and I opened it up and the Strawberry Slush Stampin' Blend markers were nowhere to be found. So I had to go double check my order because it has happened to me before that something is missing from my box. And if you call or email Stampin' Up, they are very good about replacing it for you. But when I looked back at my order, had I ordered Strawberry Slush Stampin' Blends markers? I had not. So guess what went on my very next order? Oops, that popped up far. So I'm just going to cut these apart. This part is fussy cutting. So I know not everyone is a big fan of fussy cutting, but I will tell you these are pretty simple to cut out. And you are going to be layering them on another white piece of cardstock. So if your cuts are not exactly perfect, like I'm doing this kind of quick, so mine are not probably going to be perfect. It does not show up as much because it's white on white. So you can take a little more time with yours and they will be perfect, I'm sure. But, and I'm not going to go all the way up into that crack. You could, but I'm not going to for the sake of time. And also, like I said, we are going to layer it white on white, so it is not a huge deal if it's not perfect. So let me know in the comments if you are okay with fussy cutting or if you despise it. I feel like there are two ends of the spectrum for fussy cutting, and there's not too many people who fall in the middle. You either like it or you hate it. I really like the look of fussy cutting and I don't mind it. So I'm on that side of the spectrum. But you let me know in the comments which side you are on. All right, one more balloon and then we can get to finishing up our card here. So what are you all up to this week? For us, it is the first full week of summer. We are on vacation in Colorado as you are watching this video with my husband's side of the family. And we are probably freezing because the forecast before we went was highs mostly in the 60s. And for us, that is winter temperatures. And we are staying up in the mountains where there is probably still some snow. So that is kind of fun for my kids to see snow, although several of my children say they hate snow. And they are totally Arizona children. So we'll see how that goes, but it should be a fun time. All right, we're going to put this arch onto our card. Then this one that is embossed, we will add with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're just going to kind of layer that over here. Now for the balloons, I'm going to pop up the Berry Burst one with Dimensionals. Now obviously you can't put them on the string part. but you can put them on the top. And that one I'm going to kind of center here. And then I have my liquid glue, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the string of the balloon. I almost said the stem of the balloon, but it's not a flower. It's a string. All right, and then our other balloons we're also going to add with glue. You could use your Stampin' Seal here, or you could do all of them with dimensionals. The glue, I think, will stick a little bit better to the embossed piece, because sometimes it's hard to get adhesive on there. And I'm lining my balloons up a little different than I did on the first card. On the first one, I put the timid tiger on the right, but you know what? I didn't do this on purpose, but I went outside the lines a little bit there, so we'll just tuck that part under there, and then you will not see it. How is that for a nice trick? Okay, let's tie a bow with our iridescent striped trim. I love this ribbon. I have gone through several rolls of it since it was introduced last year. It matches everything. It's shiny. What is not to love about this ribbon? So if you are adding this to your order, you might just want to go ahead and add 2 rolls right away, because you'll probably run out. At least I did. And then you get sad when you want to use it and you don't have a spare roll in your closet or your shelf. All right, we're going to put that in the middle of those balloons, and then we will finish up with a few of our rhinestones. I have just a few packages. As you can see, rhinestones are kind of a staple, aren't they? If you do not have some rhinestones in your craft room, you need to tell us in the comments. Let's see if we can find anyone who does not have these in their craft room, right? All right, there is our first card. So we're going to tuck that one away to give to a lucky winner. And we'll move on to our second card. Now this one is super simple, but I really loved this card in the Memories and More pack, and I wanted to use it. And this is a really quick and simple layout. You can do this with the designer series paper too. It's one of my favorite layouts. So we have a thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and fold in half. This is one of our 3x4 Memories and More cards. And this is a great size to cut your designer series paper, especially if it's 12 by 12, because you will have no waste if you cut your pieces into 3x4. And I talk about that all the time because I love to do it. All right, and then this was one of the 4x6 cards. So I just cut it in half at 3 inches. Then you can get 2 of these out of one of those larger cards. And we're going to put it on a piece of berry burst that is 3¼ by 4¼ All right, this piece we want to pop up with dimensionals. Let's get the backs off there. We will center that here on our card. And then I have another piece of white that is 3/4 by 3¾ and we're going to get out our berry burst ink and stamp the happy birthday right in the center. All right, then I'm going to cut the ends to angles. And we're going to fold a piece of the ribbon underneath. So just a short fold back and forth. All right, now I'm going to put a little line of my Stampin' Seal down here to kind of help hold that ribbon in place, or at least the bottom part of it. And then we're going to add Stampin' Dimensionals on the back here, and that will help finish holding it in place. Okay, there we go. And then we'll finish with a few rhinestones. Like so. Oops, that one didn't want to stick. There we go. So there is our second card. That one is super simple and sweet. All right, tuck that one away. And let's move on to our third card. Now, raise your hand or tell me in the comments how often you use Lemon Lime Twist. It is not a color I use very often, but I pulled it out for this card because it is one of the coordinating colors in this Memories and More card pack. So we have a Lemon Lime Twist card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We'll fold that in half, and then there's this fun little stamp in the stamp set that is kind of like confetti. And we are just going to stamp a little bit in Lemon Lime Twist ink on the corners of our card. And you can kind of turn it a little bit to give some variety. And we'll go down to this corner, and some of this will get covered up by our arch and our paper, so we'll see how much of it shows, but I'm just getting the corners. Okay, that's probably good. Then I have another of our 3x4 cards, and this one is the fun polka dot. And we are going to wrap our ribbon around and tie in a bow before we attach it to our card. So don't forget that part. Otherwise, you'll have to maneuver your adhesive back off your card so you can wrap your ribbon around. That has happened to me more than once. Just be careful because these cards, well, they are, you know, stiffer than just a I don't know. They're stiffer than designer series paper, but you don't want to tear the card, so don't pull too hard. We'll trim our edges here. Now, if you are watching this video right away, we are getting very close to the end of our starter kit promotion this month. So don't forget about that if you have been thinking about buying the starter kit. Or if you have a long wish list right now, that is the best way for you to get the most for your money. Because there's $40 extra in there this month. So it's $99 and you get to pick out $165 in products. So $66 for free. Usually it's only $125. So it's a great deal. And I'm going to do some stamping here while I keep talking about it. We're using our Memento Black ink again. There likely will not be another starter kit deal until fall. The last few years, I think they've had one in October, but there probably will not be another special before then. It is always a good deal. You don't have to wait for a promotion, but of course you get more if you buy it during a promotion. So that's why I wanted to remind you, because there's only a few days left. It ends on the 31st. And when you buy it, you get free shipping on the starter kit too, which is awesome. You get a past paper pumpkin kit in there. You can pick whatever products you want for that $166 or $165. And then after that, you get to shop at a discount. You get a 20% discount on your purchases. Plus, you still earn your Stampin Rewards, and that'll be through at least October. So you can try it out and see what you think. There are a lot of perks to being a demonstrator. I'm using Daffodil Delight ink for the little top of our candle here. So anyways, if you have questions about the starter kit, you can ask me in the comments or send me a message. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. Remember, I'm out of town right now as you are watching this. But I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I will put a link to the starter kit in the description of the video too, if that is something you are interested in, because that special is almost done. All right, I am coloring my cupcake frosting with Berry Burst Stampin' Blends. And I just did those lines with my dark, and now I'm filling back in with my light. Some of our Stampin' Blends markers, I notice more variation in the light and the dark. The Berry Burst is one where they are pretty similar. I mean, you can see the difference, but it's subtle. So what I'm going to do is, after I get this all filled in, I'm going to go back over those dark lines and add another layer of color just to highlight that a little bit more. And you can do that with either your light or your dark marker. All right, and then my Balmy Blue, if I had the dark, I would do this with the dark marker. But I discovered mine was dried out. So we will use the light on those lines, and then we'll fill in, and we'll probably go back over those lines too to make them even another shade darker. Okay, back over those lines. And then I'm going to use my light Timid Tiger and just make some stripes on my candle. Okay, this piece is going to get added with dimensionals. Maybe. There we go. And let's see here. You know what? I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I thought I had it down far enough, but I want it down a little bit more just because I want to see more of those polka dots underneath. I don't want to cover the whole thing up. Very carefully. I ended up doing this on the first card too, and I thought I got it low enough this time, but there we go. First I had tried it in the middle, but I like seeing more of the polka dots, so there we go. All right, and then we will finish off with a few of our rhinestones. I'm going to put one of these. It fits perfect right there, doesn't it? So we've got to put it there. We'll add a few more. All right, maybe I'm going to move that one up a little. There we go. All right, there is our third card. So let's put that one in an envelope for one more winner and bring in our 3 cards for today. Let me know in the comments which card was your favorite today, and if you love this Memories and More card pack as much as I do. I love, love, love the colors in this one. All right, remember you can shop now through Tuesday and spend more than $50 to get the card kit sent to you. And don't forget about that awesome starter kit deal. That might be a better option for you. So choose what you like. And thank you for watching this week. I will see you again next week. Bye.